Episode 22 of Trying British Foods. I live in Manhattan and I have discovered a shop that sells British food items that are not otherwise available in American stores, so I am working my way through recommendations that you all send to me. To drink this evening, I have this Tango Orange. I was just so curious to see exactly what this is. I assume it's just orange soda, though it does here on the front, it says original, which implies that perhaps there are other varieties of this. I'm not really sure. This is the only one I've ever seen. Curious to see how this stacks up against our orange soda, and if, like the other sodas I've tried from the UK on this series, it contains significantly less sugar, which I imagine it does. I have these Bigga dried peas, and these just really caught my eye on the shelf when I went into the shop, just because you all know very well by now how important size is to me. These are the types of peas, similar to some beans, where you need to soak these overnight before you prepare them, which they had this little dissolved tablet that I added in there, and then when you're ready to prepare them, you boil them again with water. So I actually did that. I put these in last night to let them soak so that I could film today. The lengths I go to for you all. I sometimes feel very unappreciated around here. Then I have a pork pie that was made in the shop. I did get a lot of recommendations for this. I will say, just to be very upfront and honest, in my real life, I don't particularly like pork. I'm not really a big fan, but I do want to give this a fair try. Along with the pork pie, I finally, by popular demand, have some HP sauce. So if you watched the show before, you know that I have done daddy sauce before, but I've not yet done HP. And people are insisting to me that they are very different and that HP is superior. There's also a lot of people insisting, because we have in the US, I think the closest equivalent we would have is A1 sauce, which even has a very similar bottle and graphic on the front. But people, again, were very insistent that this is very different in taste and consistency. HP sauce, the original brown sauce, which since 1899 has set the standard for quality. Everyone's favorite. It's a bit bold, isn't it? This legendary and uniquely distinctive sauce is the result of our dedication to sourcing the highest quality ingredients and using a closely guarded secret recipe. Well, that's very intriguing, and I will admit, you know, if this is anywhere near as good as Daddy's closely guarded secret recipe, I am in for a real treat today. The Tango Orange Soda. I will say right away by appearance, this looks nothing like our orange soda, which our orange soda is kind of this radioactive artificial orange color. This looks like it could almost be the color of orange juice, kind of. So one difference right away. Yeah, so this tastes nothing like our orange soda. Not a criticism, but it is very different. As I was expecting, significantly less sugar, much more of a citrusy flavor. This kind of tastes somewhat similar, actually, to like the Lucozade, the Lilt. There's always this kind of citrusy soda that is good and more refreshing than our soda. A lot less sugar, but I actually am surprised by how different this taste is from our Sunkist or our orange soda. Very different experience. Okay, and now the Bigga dried peas. All right, I'm saying this as a fan of peas generally. These are perfectly good, really wonderful, love the taste, no complaints. I am not understanding the appeal of this format. And this is not a UK thing, that we have this in the US too, but people who are buying dry peas and go through, I don't feel like this taste is worth all of the additional preparation that would be necessary rather than just buying these, say, like in a can. I'm sure some people would be happy to tell me. Maybe some people insist there's a really big taste difference. I'm sure perhaps there's some nutritional differences, but ultimately not worth it. It's not worth all of the legwork. And I mean, they're big, I'll give them that. The pork pie with the HP sauce. This is like solid all the way through. I don't think I realized that. It's not like broken up. Like this is, oh, okay, so this is quite a bit of pork in here then. I wasn't expecting the pork pie just to be mostly just, you know, pork and not much else. I was imagining something mixed with like vegetables or something like the other pies have been. This is not, but I do really like this, even though, as I said, I'm not the biggest fan of pork. It tastes really good, and it is paired perfectly with the HP sauce. I will say, this, I think, if I'm being honest, It does taste incredibly similar to A1, although A1 is a bit runnier in consistency, and I think I prefer the taste of A1 a little bit better. This is, if there's a spectrum of sauces, this is like one notch over towards ketchup. I think I would prefer A1, which has a slightly more vinegary taste than this. This is a bit sweeter. But this is very good, and I will admit this is, I think, slightly higher quality than the Daddy sauce. So I think I prefer HP, but you know, just no one tell Daddy. Thank you very much for the recommendations, and I'll see you next time.